friends. Welcome back to Learning Nails and Aesthetics. We are in the Milady Cosmetology book, continuing chapter 11, page 339. There have been issues with YouTube. If you come across a video that says it's currently unavailable or the comments are turned off, refresh the page and that should fix the issue. And keep in mind, I am not AI, so mistakes will be made. Check out my other videos. The Milady Esthetics book, their nails book, and their foundations book is a companion book to all of their books. So definitely do that. And if you come across a video that doesn't necessarily interest you, keep watching because there probably is something that interests you. Or give me some suggestions in the comments. Even just a simple little emoji. You don't have to write a dissertation in the comments. Just let me know that you're watching, that you're there. Little emoji. You could go crazy and tell me where you're watching from. I'm in Florida. So yeah, just say hi. Procedure 11-6. Taper fade on straight hair. Implements and materials. Adjustable blade clippers. Blow dryer. Clipper comb. Used for clipper over comb technique. Cutting cape, cutting comb, detachable blade clippers, hair cutting shears, neck strip, sectioning clips, shampoo and conditioner, shampoo cape and styling cape, spray bottle with water, styling product for finish, tapering comb, texturizing shears, towels, trimmers, vent brush, wide tooth comb. Preparation. Before you begin, perform 10-1 pre-service procedure. 10-3 draping for shampooing service, and 10-5 basic shampooing and conditioning as necessary. Evaluate your client's hair texture for curls, waves, and growth patterns. Estimated time 30 minutes. Escort client to styling chair and drape the client. Secure a neck strip around the client's neck. Place a cape over the neck strip and fasten in back. Fold neck strip down over cape so that no part of the cape touches the client's skin. Towel dry and detangle hair with a wide tooth comb or detangler comb. Section client's hair in a horseshoe shape, leaving out the lower periosteal. For the next step, section the length of blade based on the desired end results. With 3.5 inch 8.75 closed cutting blade, begin clipper cutting on the lower right side of the client's head using 1 to 1.5 inch 2.5 to 3.75 centimeter zones in a soft C-shaped motion at the lower periosteal. The clippers should be flush to the head and only leave the head once you reach the periosteal. Clip the hair to separate the higher periosteal and the hair on top of the head away from the lower periosteal, being faded to control the area being cut. Continue to fade using 3.5 inch 8.75 centimeter guard on the closed clipper, moving from the front right periosteal to the back right periosteal, and then to center back. Comb as needed for control. The client may need to hold their ear for easier manipulation in the area and safety, of course. Repeat the steps as needed on the right before moving to the left. The haircut should begin to take shape, appearing a heavier shade in the higher periosteal and a lighter shade in the lower periosteal. Comb the hair in the direction of hair growth as you continue to work around the head in a horseshoe section. In the back right and left sections, be careful not to cut beyond the occipital, as this can negatively alter the shaping of the haircut. The clipper, rocking, or removal should elevate out at 45-degree angle. Using the same guard or blade work Begin at the front left of the client and repeat the steps on the left side and left back area of the head. Continue with a 45-degree cutting movement with a soft C-shape movement at the occipital. The lower parietal should appear shorter, with longer hair length above the occipital, with a V shape forming in the back. Repeat on the left back section using the guide from the left side section. Continue with a 45-degree cutting movement, rocking out at the occipital, and continue to form the V shape in the back of the head. Complete the back left and back right area of the client's haircut. Move to the front left of the client's hair and repeat the previous step from the front right side of the head. Begin cutting in 1 to 1.5 inch, 2.5 to 3.75 centimeter zones on each side. Using a 3.5 inch, 8.75 centimeter closed cutting blade, continue the haircut while working towards the back left section of the head, rocking out just below the occipital. The clippers should be flush to the head and only leave the head once you reach the parietal. Separate the hair in the higher parietal and top of the head away from the lower parietal to control the area being cut. The haircut should now begin to connect to the back right section of the head as you continue to cut the hair, rocking out at a 45-degree angle. Be careful not to cut beyond the apex. Check and blend the haircut using a variety of techniques needed for straight hair clippers. Clipper over comb at 45 degrees is commonly used to blend and check the haircut. Continue blending the haircut using the clipper over comb, diagonal, and horizontal technique. Begin blending with a 2 or 2.5 inch, 5 to 6.25 centimeter detachable blade at the sides of the head to create the taper to continue connecting the lower parietal. Moving to the back, continue working in the lower parietal to blend the haircut using the C-shaped motion technique. This C-shaped technique is also called the 45-degree cutting angle. Once the front right and the back right is blended, use the 2.5 inch, 6.25 centimeter blade and turn the client's chair to begin blending the front left and the back left sections. Beginning in the front left section, continue cutting until all desired hair has been cut and tapered. Repeat in the back left section until all desired hair has been cut. Change to a number 1 blade, 2.75 centimeter, and complete the tapering around the hairline, blending in the nape and sides. Comb the longer hair from the higher parietal to the lower parietal using a clipper over comb technique. Insert the comb at the ear on the right side of the head, flush to the guide, and cut any excess hair in front of the comb. Continue to work in an upward direction. With the clipper and comb horizontal, continue to blend the right front section, moving to the back right section. Once this is complete, repeat the same steps on the front left and back left sections. The entire parietal should be blended using a 45-degree horizontal and diagonal angle, depending on the line of demarcation. Continue cutting using the clipper over comb technique. Once the entire lower parietal, higher parietal, and nape area is cut and blended, you will now complete the cut. Re-wet the hair and complete the remainder of the haircut using an over the finger cutting shear technique at a 90-degree vertical angle. In the crown, comb the hair from scalp to end, elevating the hair out at a 90-degree angle. Create the guide based on the desired length. Create a guide in the center of the head by cutting the entire apex and crown at a consistent 90 degrees. This guide will consist of the high crown through the apex and down to the front fringe area. Using the center guide, begin cutting using vertical subsections from the top down. Vertical shear cutting will be completed on the right top side of the head. Section vertically and continue the 90-degree elevation cut on the left side of the head. Use consistent tension as you continue to overcut. The blade should not exceed your second knuckle. Finish the haircut by cutting the entire back crown area while matching the original guide cut in the crown, apex, and fringe. Shear overcomb technique is commonly used to blend the haircut by combing the hair against the grain while cutting in a fast motion. Continue to blend the clipper work to make sure it complements the shear manipulation. If needed, utilize texturing shears to shatter and dust the line of demarcation. Once the entire top portion of the client's head is cut, step back and examine the entire cut for any lines of demarcation and imperfections. If horizontal lines are present, use diagonal lines to blend. To finish the cut, use the taper trimming tool or T-outliner to clean up the hairline. Optional. Use an antiseptic type product to gently dab the hairline. Finished look. Post-service. To complete the procedure, perform 10-2 post-service procedure. Procedure 11-7 Classic Fade on Curly Hair. Implements and materials. Adjustable blade clippers, blow dryer, cutting cape, cutting comb, detachable blade clippers, hair cutting shears, neck strip, sectioning clips, shampoo and conditioner, shampoo cape, spray bottle with water, styling product for finish, tapering comb, texturizing shears, towels, trimmers, corded or cordless, vent brush, wide tooth comb. Preparation. Before you begin, perform 10-1 pre-service procedure, 10-3 draping for shampooing service, and 10-5 basic shampooing and conditioning as necessary. Evaluate your client's hair texture for curls, waves, and growth patterns. Estimated time, 30 minutes. Escort client to styling chair. Secure a neck strip around the client's neck. Place a cape over the neck strip and fasten in back. Fold neck strip down over cape so that no part of cape touches the client's skin. Towel dry and detangle hair with a wide tooth or detangler comb. A foundation. Sorry. To set the foundation for this type of fade haircut, you will need to create 3 guidelines. Reduce the length of hair on top and the sides of the head. Once the guides are created, begin the fading process. To create your first guide, start at center back in the nape of the head, also referred to as Zone 1. Work with either no guard or triple out blade, also called the 000 blade, on a detachable clipper. Note, an alternate option is to use the close setting, 000, on your adjustable blade clippers. Move toward the occipital and back area of the head, working in a slow rocking motion. Stay parallel to the initial guideline while moving toward the right side of the client's head from the perimeter. Finish creating your first guideline while contouring the head shape and moving to the left side of the client's head. Return to the center, back nape, also referred to as Zone 1. Continue with closed one guard on the attachable clipper, working to establish a guide to the right side of the client. Then continue working to the left side of the client with the same soft rocking motion. Return to the bottom of the first guideline with the adjustable blade clippers. Open the lever halfway, half an inch, without a guard, or triple out 0, 0, 0, starting from the center. Use the rocking technique performed by placing the clippers onto the client's head and elevating out in a scooping motion, half an inch to 3/4 of an inch, 1.25 to 1.88 centimeters into the section around the head. This will start the blend. To give a closer, tighter fade, follow up with foil electric shavers. They have straight heads that use oscillating blades, also known as cutters, beneath a foil to cut hair. The foil captures the hair with its holes, cutting it close to the skin and offering a close shave. Utilize the same smooth C-shape motion to work up to the triple out 0, 0, 0 blade closeness. This will create another line. Working with the trimmer in a C-shape motion, blend your second guide between the triple out 0, 0, 0, no guard length, and the closeness for the foil shaver. Work around from the center back nape, moving to the right side of the head form, and then continue to work to the left side while blending. Work with the half inch 1.25 centimeter guard in a C-shape motion by blending between the triple out 0, 0, 0 blade and the one guard standard. Work around from the left side to the center back nape, moving to the right side of the head form. Blend and refine the guidelines utilizing a small taper comb. Work clipper over comb with a triple out 0, 0, 0 or unguarded blade with the teeth pushed open. On the crown, back, sides, and top of the head, work clipper over comb using the standard unguarded blade on your detachable blade clippers. Cut with the grain by following the natural hair growth to leave the hair longer. Continue to shape and blend into the free-handed fade on the back and sides. Free form shape the crown, sides, top, and front to continue to blend the overall haircut and silhouette. Use trimmers to end out the front hairline and sideburn area and polish the front hairline. Clean up around the ears. Pull the ear down to make it easier to see any excess hair behind the ear. Tilt the head forward. Use an upward shaving motion with your trimmer to clean up the back of the neck. The taper is already complete, so it is important not to get anywhere near the first guideline. Stop a half to 1 inch, 1.25 to 2.5 centimeters below the taper so that the line is not made. Finish the opposite side of the neck and sideburn area. Rehydrate the hair and curls by shampooing and conditioning. Blow dry the hair with your cutting comb to lay the hair down in place for polishing touches. Turn styling chair around and using your mirror, check for balance and any unwanted lines. Use texturizing shears if needed to soften lines or remove weight. Consider moisturizing curl defining products to maintain and quench the natural curl. Post-service. To complete the procedure, perform 10-2 post-service procedure. Oh, the chapter glossary. All right, that will be our next video. I hope this was helpful to you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. and have a great day. Okay, love you, bye.